What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. Just when you thought this night couldn't get any crazier, the errata of Destiny Hero Disc Commander actually was a sign that they were going to update the ban list of all times right now tonight. I have not looked at the OCG ban list, but there is huge news about it. One of my friends let me know, hey John, this is up. So now we get a chance to go ahead and look through it. I'm using Google Translate, so let's go ahead and see. Limit regulation that limits the number of cards to be put in the decks, such as the official tournament of OCG. This time, we will release the changes of the limit regulation applied from April 1st, 2018, Sunday, before the release of this magazine. Ooh. Gofu is banned. Alright. Straight up. I'm personally not a fan of Gofu being at 0. I think he's fine at what he does. I think Scapegoat's a more busted card, even though it takes 2 turns overall. Now, the plant card, I believe that's Phoenix Cluster, or whatever it's called, that's fine. That was degenerate. Plant FDK can get slapped out. I'm super happy with them losing that overall. Gofu, I kind of like to stick around, but I do get what it promotes. It's also a tuner. It is a bit degenerate. Banned is just rough, though. It is what it is. This isn't the worst strike. Like, this is way less impactful than before, but Plant FDK was a very big part of their format. Then it kind of got figured out, and it started transitioning to just beat it. It got hand-trapped down. It wasn't consistent enough, and now it's just gone. Alright, Disc Commander, of course, is back. Iris to 1. Ooh, Darkworm to 1, Grinder Golem to 1. Lone Fire and, oh, Scorpio, you died for their sins. They've lost the brilliant engine in terms of the power that it was at. You've done goofed. That's a pretty rough hit. Grinder Golem to 1 should have been expected. They've lost their Grinder Golem shenanigans as much as we have now. This is a interesting hit. They've kind of killed the consistency of the deck even further. But I like that they left Iris at 1, if I'm honest. I really wish we saw this for the TCG. At 1 would have been perfectly fine. And I would have liked to see that resource game. I would have liked to see it go. Let's see here. What else? Was Invoked that big of a problem over there? Spellbook of Knowledge, dropping it on them down to 1. Spellbook of Knowledge still hasn't been hit over here, huh? Yeah, now it's at 1 over here. Interesting. That's kind of weird to see. Mechaba at 1, it's not the biggest thing. Like, you usually use 2 in a duel, I guess, so it does hurt the consistency and power of the Invoked. But it's not the most terrible of hits. This is a good semi-limit list overall. I'm a fan of everything but the Scorpio. I think hitting the Mechaba is a little rough, but it's better than hitting the Fusion, which is kind of what the entire deck thrives on. And I don't know how else I would really go about trying to chop down Invoked without murdering them. It's not really the most invasive deck, and it's a good, consistent engine. I like this, except for Scorpio. I'm a fan. Lone Fire can get in and off and on a list. Scorpio's a bit much, but I do get, I guess, they're scared of the Brilliant Fusion maybe with Link Summoning. Let's look at the 2-ofs. Ash to 2! Doing something about it, drowning the consistency a little, but don't you have Maxi at 3 over there? That's a bit odd. Oh. Solemn. Are you kidding? Solemn to 2? We're going that far? We're making traps great again? We're making them matter again? Wow. I didn't think I'd see the day. That's incredible. Heritage to 2 is an alright hit. Alistair to 2. So they're further going at the consistency of that deck, but I think 2 Alistair isn't the worst thing in the world. You have the 3 meltdowns still. Mechaba hurts more, honestly, than losing a single Alistair. We even see some engines naturally cut this down to 2. If it's not a pure Invoke deck, if they're splashing, because they don't want to draw too many of it in Brick. But I'm interested in Ash. What do you guys think? Is 2 the right answer? A lot of people went at 2 Maxis, but Drowning the chances to see Ash doesn't drain its power any. It drains how often you see it. And I think everyone's still going to kind of play 2 that we're playing 3. 2 Solemn's insane to me. 2 Solemn is absolutely gorgeous. I think with Red Reboot, you do have that kind of counter available to you. So that's kind of funny. But, man, 2 Ash, 2... Wow. All right, let's look at the Unlimited 2. All right, we got Tribe Infecting Virus. I guess it just doesn't matter, but we don't have that yet. It could have been a tool for the Mermaid Atlanteans in a sense, and at 3, they're just showing that its effectiveness isn't there. 3 Summoner Monk is interesting. I guess it's a card that doesn't see much meta play, but is pretty good for stuff like hero decks. We see Spellbook of Secrets at 3, right? Secrets is what it's called. 3 Tengu is interesting. So, like, I guess these were limited somehow. 3 Pantheism. Oh, they're really bringing it back. And 3, oh man, count them, 3 Pot of Avarice. I really like this Pantheism move. I think that Monarchs have a time to come back and kind of throw their weight around the meta. This one was a really cool move. I didn't know, I guess, that Tengu was still limited over there. It's kind of got interesting implications for Link summoning, so it's cute. I didn't know the Spellbook was limited. I forgot about that one. And Monster Gate, all right. I think that's everything. Yeah, that's pretty much everything here. Let's kind of talk about this. So, reviewing the Forbidden cards, initial reactions sink in, and actually think about this a little more. The Plant FTK, yeah, slam it, that's good. Gofu, it died to the mechanic of Link summoning despite me being a fan of it, and I do get why it has to go. Disc Commander, I wish you were never eroded. You were better off banned. You were better off. Well, you're the hero we don't deserve, and with that effect, we don't need you right now. Iris to 1, I like that move. I hope to see it in the TCG if they balance the Pin Magicians a little more. I'd like to see them tweak it, kind of work with it, but I guess it's already kind of the strongest deck here, right? So putting it at 1, they don't really need that buff. They don't need that extra consistency bump. Dark Worm, that's I hope I'm calling it the right name. That's a pretty darn interesting hit there. It looks like they haven't really done much about the FTK unless they already had it restricted over there. So that's interesting. The Pendulum FTK. I don't know if they have access to that over there. Let me know in the comment section down below if there's something blocking them from that, or if they were just downing the consistency with Dark Worm here. We've got Grinder Golem. All right. That needed to happen for them. I'm still bummed about Ortho Scorpio, but that's because I love playing the Brilliant Fusion in a ton of decks like Lightsworn. Like, it's a casualty of necessity to the Link mechanic, I suppose, and how broken it can be, and I just still feel like it's dying for Plant FTK sins here, because it's not heavily in the meta, right? It's not in a ton of the decks over here. It's not... I hope this doesn't translate to us, is my point. Lone Fire can come and go. It's a great card. It enables you to get to your Scorpio, so in a sense, I guess you're playing 2, but if you drew it later, it's a brick. It's really interesting to see how hard they went for the Invoked here. Remember, these top 2 are at 1, these bottom 2 are at 2. All 3 of these seem to go towards the Invoked, and I didn't know that was that big of a problem over there. And when you think about it, it is really consistently topping cross-format over here. And it's kind of due for something, but I'd like to see reprints first and time for everybody to kind of toy around with it rather than expensive prices before we see that hit. I'm not the biggest fan of Ash Blossom to 2. I like that 1 or 3 number, but it's different than Maxi for sure. It's different to see this card fall down. Solemn at 2 is super interesting because you have a ton of ways to search the counter traps. You have ways to guarantee you're going to get a counter trap to hand, and continuing to put Solemn among those, I like it. And the counter fairies still weren't strong enough. This may give a little boost to them. It should be interesting to see where it takes counter fairy, especially with their new structure. Maybe this is that move of, you know what, they didn't really do enough. Let's give them another little notch. And yeah, True Dracos are still top, and I guess. I'd like to see Tribe over here. Monk to 3 is kind of cute. Tengu to 3, cute. Pantheism is definitely the biggest change, in my opinion, to translate to our list from theirs, and I really actually do enjoy the move. I'm not terrorized by Monarchs. I get that they had their era. They did really good at the WCQ when they were on top. But I think it's time to let them come back and play just a little bit. And this is the perfect move for that. So what do you guys think of this OCG ban list? Is it kind of what you would like to see more moving towards here? Remember their last ban list was so insane. This one's much more mild, but Pantheism is probably the strongest move. Solemn's very strong as well. And an Ash Blossom hit. Would you like to see it hit over here in a similar manner? Or would you like to see it get hit harder or not at all? Let me know, because we just got our reprint. That'd be crazy, right? You got your reprints, now we hit it. That'd be insane. So I'm looking for this and how Konami USA is going to react to this list as well for us.